What up?
Hey, man.
Dang, what's happening?
Oh, just early morning here on the Gold Coast.
Yeah, good morning. I'm having a beer. It's like 4:20
Oh,
over here. It's 4:20 in America.
fourth.
So
You're drinking a.
you have the best possible time for an interview. There's no way I was gonna miss this.
Hey, man, that is perfect.
I
What
know
beer is that?
it's a
I
little
wish I
weird.
was drinking a beer.
Oh,
Let me
this is
just do that
terrible. This
before I
is
do it.
all right. This is whatever the lead singer had left in the fridge. That's on this edition of What Beer Are You Drinking, right? And when he
Yeah.
sees this, he'll be pissed. I drank his beer, but I definitely don't care. So this is a Victoria. It's a Mexican lager. It's pretty good. Cerveza. Pretty good.
So this is the jam room, is it?
Mm. Yeah, this is my home dojo. Okay.
Right.
Um, and this is where I'm conducting the interview. I had to kick everybody out of here. We've been recording a record for a month,
What?
and we've actually been at a different studio. This is sort of just like my little area and the band storage area. And basically on this album, since we've been making it in Maryland where I live, it's just become just the straight up band hangout. You know what I mean? Like
Love it.
everybody who's been in a band knows this. So this is darkest hours area, and no time. I had to kick the guys out, but at 8 o'clock, they're all going to be back in here. Like this is our space because we're all together. We're all together for one more week, and then we're
Man.
flying to LA to come meet you, and then I get my space back.
Yeah,
But for
man.
now,
Hey, but that's cool. I mean, we've got at my jam space, we've got our beer fridge, but no one drinks my beers because I drink all the shit that no one wants to drink. So my
yeah,
beers are safe. You know,
yeah.
they
Well, this is my fridge. You know, this is my house. So if you put a beer in my house, like, what am I
it's
supposed to do?
you got to claim it. Yeah, that's right. So if he
Plus,
comes,
Australians understand. Like, shit, man, had to have a beer. You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
that's
man.
logic.
Especially if it goes in, it's claimed. That's exactly right. But Mike, thanks for joining us on the show, bro. It's good to see you.
Yeah, man, we're really excited to get back to Australia. It's been a really long time
Yes, it
since we've been
has.
able to come down, and we've been working on a record for, like I said, a month, and been pandemic-sized, and then have been on a couple tours. But this is really special to us because we love Australia, and so we're excited about it.
When was the last look? It's been like a decade, and I kind of
It it
remember
is it is been a decade actually.
because I remember when the last tour was announced, I was jamming with my old band, and we were in the jam room, and it popped up on my phone that you were touring, and I was like, "Holy shit! Look at this!" Everyone,
Yeah.
yeah, and we didn't get
Uh,
this, but
okay, so check it out. The last time we were coming to Australia, I think this is an amazing story. We were gonna come with Devil Driver and 6 Feet Under, and they both canceled while we were on the airplane on the way to Australia, right? So when we landed, we found out there's no tour. Like, just change your tickets, pay thousands of dollars, and fly home. It's not happening.
nah.
So instead, we used the internet, which at the time, 10 years ago, it was like a little bit more novel to do this, but we just went on social media and we booked a show every night and played like crazy places, man. Just random bars and whatever. And so we're excited to be back on, a little bit more planned out type situation. The other two tours before that were really planned out and cool, but they were just so long ago that it's hard to connect with people. So yeah,
Mm.
man, it feels like we're starting over, but we've also been there 4 times. This is our fourth time. So it's like, it's a weird position.
And I mean, considering was it Sydney is apparently ranked number 4 on the band's
Oh man, you did your
Sydney.
research, huh? You went in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know, man. I know. I know. No, I
Yeah, so
saw it.
we did too. We were like, we should go there. You
Mm.
know what I mean? And that was like part of the whole that was the whole part of the whole beginning of this is like, oh man, it's been a real long time. Like we should like go down there. And it wasn't until we were approached and after like everybody started planning and that tours were gonna come back to being happening down there. And it's pretty crazy because we've seen all of our friends just go down or be about to go down.
Mm.
You guys have been hit with a ton of tours. So this is a good time, man. You all gonna get out there and feel that live music again.
Well, man, you've also got some incredible support on this tour as well. Like, man, you've got Run, The Ascended, Primitive, Lycanthrope, like some of my favorite Aussie bands. Like a couple of those dudes are my mates, so I'm cheering.
That's sick. Cool.
But they're fucking unreal, man. I like it's
Well,
gonna be so.
let me speak on this. So first of all, when you are trying to do this, you know, and you're an American band and you go on tour, a lot of times you will be pressured or pushed into the situation to package with other bands and therefore just like squash the bills for any sort of local or regional bands to be able to do anything.
Yeah.
I think because of Australia's distance from a lot of this stuff, there's a little bit more unique situation. So this was a little easier than most. But what I'm trying to get at is we try to do this all the time. We try to do a tour where it's just like us and a bunch of different regional new bands, like people that just love heavy metal who want to just get people there also and not make it really about like so industry, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And so it's not that we didn't have anything to do with it, but the promotion company, you know, who originally they're called United Front, who hit us up about doing this, they helped put together these bands. And of course I looked at all of them because we like to like look at who all the bands are to make sure there's not something we like are really like, that's kind of but we liked everything, but there's no way I would have been able to find these bands without United Front's help. And I love to hear that they are connected in some way to like what you're doing and what the scenes are doing everywhere, because those are the people we love to meet. Like the people in those bands, especially, are people that are just like us, you know? And so I think it's going to be really cool to get to go down there and see like what are all these, like, I don't want to say young, but like up and coming Aussie bands about, you know, what is the flavor of like Aussie metal? This is going to be crazy. We're like, you know, going on an adventure and we're going to get sound delights from all the little regions of Australia before we play.
It's good. It's cool, man. It's cool. And as I said, like Primitive and Lycanthrope, like they're awesome guys too. Like,
cool. Well, I like to hear that. That's good.
Hey, like shout out to you boys. Yeah. Like, man, it's so sick. Like, I can't wait.
I can't wait to check it out. I think they just played with Unearth. If I'm not like, did they just play that with the show with Unearth? So we follow.
You're going to tag out at the airport. You're going to be like, "Hey boys, how you going?" They're
oh, trust me, we've been texting them the whole time. I hope Buzz left us all his weed because he said he was going to leave. Like, well, Buzz is he's the king of either hiding beer or something for us backstage. Actually, I think maybe Trevor, he has the heart of gold. So, but there was a show recently where they left us a bottle of Jack Daniels because they had gotten a whole bunch and they were going to leave and go across a border. And Comeback Kid left us like a treasure hunt to some other goodies. And we were like, we get to the festival and the promoter's like, oh, and here, Unearth leave you an extra bottle of Jack Daniels, you know what I mean? And also here's a treasure hunt. We're like, what? So we'll definitely be high-fiving with those guys if we see them at the airport.
I feel like there's a movie or something in that. Like,
oh, no.
You could put a twist on the treasure hunt. It's like, oh yeah, like Saw.
No, it wasn't that anything, but it was hard, man. We got it on film. So one day you all see the video evidence.
I love it.
That was Comeback Kid though. Comeback Kid were the kings of the treasure hunt. So Unearth hooked us up with the goodies, but so did Comeback Kid. We got friends in low places.
So what was it? What was it? What the treasure hunt? I got to know. Like what?
I don't know. It was like some weed because they were gonna go to Bavaria and you can't smoke weed there. And so between that and the Jack Daniels, we had the best day ever at this festival. I can't remember the name, of course, but I do remember that Exodus played, Life of Agony played, Cannibal Corpse played, Dark Tranquility played. We played a bunch of festivals this summer, but you know, other than the name of the festival, I remember it as a really good time.
Is it a Devil's Lettuce Fest? Man, that's awesome. Well, I mean, you also released the Live and Lockdown album as well on vinyl, which is cool.
Yeah.
I don't see that much anymore.
I have a whole bunch of copies over here, so just buy them. You can go to our website and go to our official band, Big Cartel. This is a plug. And you can buy a bunch of stuff from us, like this exclusive live record we put out by ourselves over the pandemic, which, thank you very much, is due to the help of our Patreons, because we have this internet subscription thing called a Patreon, which, by the way, if you're a member of, you can subscribe and get to meet the band. So, like, one of the things we do is when we go to cities, we meet with anyone who is a Patreon. So it's not like a meet and greet thing. It's more of a like we like to meet who these people are who have been subscribing every month and sort of interacting and watching what we do. And they helped us fund basically a live stream that we did over the pandemic. And then we were able to take that, turn it into a live record, repress that, put it out. And it's been really, really, really cool because in some ways it sort of stamps a little era of the band, but also is a way for people. It's like a greatest hits, but also it's also the translation of the way the songs really sound when it's just, the band playing it rather than the studio production. And so I really love that record, and it's been really cool to have been able to have put it out, by ourselves. And I think if anything, hopefully it can reach people in other countries where all the records aren't on the streaming services, because when you release stuff yourselves, like we did with that record, we've been trying to just get it everywhere, and the new record, which we're working on, is going to come out too. And our Patreons are going to get hooked up first, but the rest of the world's going to get it through a more traditional medium, like another label that's yet unannounced. But that's all that news is coming, and we have a plan for that. So I can't, if I talk about it now, they'll all get pissed. Why'd you talk to me?
I'll come in, tackle you.
Yeah, the marketing team here, known as the rest of the band.
Oh yeah, yep. Yeah, I know that. I'm always the one that opens his mouth. But are you going to bring some of those records down for us?
Yeah, here we're doing video here.
Some down. Yeah, bring it out.
Show us. Hold on. Here you go. Oh yeah, we're gonna be bringing lots of these.
Oh, look at that.
And you know what's cool about these? I just want to tell you. Not only do we just autograph them all the time at the show, so you probably get out, but you never know what color you're gonna get because they're all pressed on different colors, like every one, right?
That's
so we got. Oh, cool! It's like a really light brown kind of thing, swirl.
That's mad. Put me down for 20.
We'll take it because we're trying to eat. You know what I mean?
I know what it's like. But hey man, no, I'll buy one of those. You bring them down, and I'll
Look, man, one thing I'll say in all seriousness is that Australian fans, especially Australian metal fans, they are some of the best metal fans in the world because they're passionate about the music. They like collecting. They're really into it. It's like the passion is very free flowing, and we're really excited to be able to share that because we love that. And so we're going to bring as many of these as we can stuff on the plane, and we're going to try to be out at the merchandise table, meeting people and whatever. And, getting as close to the pit as we can without hurting ourselves so we can play an epically long set for y'all,
It's going to be incredible. It's going to be incredible. But last year, of course, you had a really good year. Well, it looks, as you said before, I mean, you just wrapped up a tour with In Flames as well recently.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that was crazy.
Man.
It's crazy. You know how good they are. It's messed up.
I know. I just had Bjorn on the show like the other day.
Oh, he's the man. Dude. He's the nicest guy ever.
Yeah. Awesome. Love him.
I hope he probably remembers my name. No, just kidding. He's a good dude, man. He's one of the best. Like, we made, I say that as a joke because trust me, man, we made an impact, man. We are not quiet about our love for In Flames. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I think I don't know. I'm just projecting. Like, I think they might have just been like, oh my God, like, damn, these guys are intense. They really like the band because we've been In Flames fans for a long time. But they're on fire because they got Tanner on drums now and they got Chris on guitar. It's crazy, man. And also Bryce on bass. He's really good too. So they were kind of the perfect band to just play with right before you go make a record, because you're like, okay, you got to be that good. You know what I mean? And before that, though, we did a tour that was amazing with Comeback Kid in Europe, which was just like back to fucking get in the club. You know what I mean? Like fuck all this like big concert type vibe stuff. Like get straight in there, straight in people's faces, you know. And Comeback Kid, they're like family. They treated us so good, and that was just like, I don't know. It was a tour, but it felt like something not also like just like a whole gang of friends going to random cities, and just like we got to go to a show together and play. It was wild. And that was when we also did all the festivals that summer. And before that, we did Deliver Us in its entirety, one of our records here in America. And that was really cool because that got a lot of people who just really connected with that record out to the show. And it was cool to just sort of go into that little world for a minute and just play songs we never really played before and celebrate a record like from start to finish.
Yeah.
So it was, man, that was up in the summer. I mean, I could even go farther back because before that we were just writing and writing and writing, trying to get a record together. Because we weren't sure if how the touring thing was like back and forth with the pandemic, just back and forth. So we were like, do we make a record? Do we go on tour? And as soon as there started to be opportunities to like actually tour, we were like, we're gonna go on tour for a minute, you know. And so I think the record's better for it, and our lives are better for it. Because yeah, last year ripped, but this year is gonna be sick, and next year even is gonna be better because we're gonna have this new music finally, you know.
And you're close to 30 years too.
That's right. That's gonna look hell good on a t-shirt.
25? Yeah, man.
You know, we're gonna put all the 30-year everything, you know.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna brag about it. Although it's tough, you know, it's dangerous to brag about it. It's dangerous because then people go, damn, 30 years. But some people go, wow, 30 years. But some people go, damn, 30 years. You know what I mean?
I think it's a great achievement, man. I mean, and you guys have.
Well, I appreciate that you do, because I do too. I'm glad I survived.
Yeah, man. Bands don't survive that long. I mean, how many bands do you know that have survived 30 fucking years?
Well, it's not even just about survival. Okay. It's also about your sonic quest. And I feel like every record has been pushing in a new direction, something special. And I think that this record really feels like a culmination of a lot of the flavors of all of them, more than any other one. But it's hard to know when you're in the middle of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That either way, though, I think we've kind of proven that we've also been on a mission to sort of like figure out, you know, what is that most epic record we can make, you know, or maybe it's about different statements at different times. But either way, sonically, like we feel, even though we survived for 30 years, we've also been like wrapped up in just always trying to make it better, which has always felt and kept it fresh.
That's awesome, man. And of course, we're going to be seeing you very soon. What's the one thing from Australia that, apart from our beer, what's the one thing that you've missed the most that you're hanging? Is it a pie?
Oh, did I miss one? I love pies. I mean, pies are good. Hold on, this is tough. Man, there's some good crisp beers, but I don't remember the name of those. But you guys got some. The beer thing is definitely on point.
Don't say Foster's or we won't let you in the country.
I mean, I wouldn't say Foster's. I'm not that dumb. Oh,
you
man.
Know how many bands I speak to that do, though?
I'm not. I don't miss. All right. Man, we always go to the koala farm. I know koala farms stink. I mean, koalas stink and they have really sharp nails. But I kind of want to get another picture with the koala.
It can happen.
So I'm excited for the wildlife. Okay. Wildlife's awesome. Like bats. Like seeing bats is really cool for Americans. And, you know, seeing a fucking kangaroo is awesome. Okay. I mean, whatever, dude. You know, I'm excited about seeing some fucking wildlife, man. My Instagram might be all kangaroos and I'm not ashamed. Okay.
They're pretty cool. They're like mutant rabbits, I guess. We see them all the time. We're just like, hey, isn't it?
I've been obsessed with Australia ever since I was a kid because AC/DC was one of my first favorite bands ever. And I think when you're a kid, you just think everything about that band's like Australian. I mean, I didn't realize they had also a British lead singer. Some of the videos were made in England. Those guys were actually like really Scottish, whatever. Like, I just was like, man, Australia must be the best. You know, Bon Scott, holy fuck, he was so cool. And so as soon as we could go there, and every time I'm just always like transported to that part of kiddom that's connected with like loving music, because it's like somewhere you really want to go because it's connected to a band you really, really liked. And that's the only reason why you even would have thought about it when you were a kid. You know what I mean?
True. No,
So
that's
it's like,
true.
it's really cool. Like I'm just connected to it in that way. And I know I mean, there's a lot of other Australian bands I've really liked. Like I love Midnight Oil. I know might seem odd for Australians to hear that, but like they penetrated America, MTV in a weird way and had a lot of hits, not just, Beds Are Burning or whatever. And they were super cool. They play DC all the time throughout their career. And it was just like, man, another just awesome Australian band, and there's a whole bunch of them. And I think it just, the music in some way, it just always made the place feel just very magical. And so that's part of like why we just really can't wait. We can't wait to get into the music environment with that culture. I'm not even talking about like I Killed the Prom Queen or Parkway Drive or like the other up and came metal core greats that sort of like paved the path so we can just walk down the golden road and be like, oh yeah, you guys like metalcore, here we come. You know what I mean? Like it's a really cool deep culture you guys have of music.
It's true. It is very true, because and it's happening again now. We're having a little bit of the bands are having a bit of a global takeover at the moment. We've got a lot of bands heading out into the big wide world, like North Lane and your Alpha Wolf and all those. It's
go
through waves.
Australia's hot.
It's cool, man.
It's like you're like England and California. You smash them together and it's awesome. Everybody likes both.
That's true. It's true. You can't get weed. Anyway, but brother, it's been amazing hanging out with you on the show. I'll be seeing you in Brisbane. It's going to be sick.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sick. All right, dude. So when you see us, we got to do a shot. Okay. That's going to be sick. We're going to do it. Brisbane. I'll put it on my mental Rolodex calendar, whatever you call it.
Let's go.
Fuck yeah, man. That's going to be awesome. We'll see you all there. And everybody, Australia, let's do it. Get it.
Let's go.